So, for those who don't follow the news, Winston Shrout was finally sentenced this week. He has to show up, turn himself in to go to jail on November 25th. But the benefit of this is that now I get to say, I told you so to everybody who left stupid comments over the years saying Winston Shrout would never get caught, he would never go to jail, etc. I'm going to link the article to his sentencing. Just to reiterate, if you're still a follower of Winston Shrout, this should be a wake-up call to you. The fact that Winston Shrout was not able to use his techniques in court effectively means that they do not work, period. Multiple people have tried them over the years, including his stepdaughter. Everybody who has used Winston Shrout's strategies in court has failed. Many of them have gone to jail, ended up in foreclosure, etc. Going to start off with a comment I found on Druana Wales' YouTube page, which I like. By the way, her video is worth watching now that Winston has been sentenced. The name of the video is Winston Shrout is Not in Jail, in which she boasts that everything is going fine with his court case, etc. Anyways, this is a comment I like from Star Raider 25. By the way, even if he went to jail, he probably wouldn't do more than a year. Here's someone's analysis of that. Quote, it's highly doubtful he'll get substantial prison time. By the way, he got 10 years. His primary crime, the fictitious obligations, Title 18, Section 514 charge, carries a guideline score of 7. Under federal law, his multiple counts will be grouped because they represent a course of conduct or pattern of behavior. There will likely be little enhancement, because there was no actual financial harm because of it. If you look at the U.S. sentencing guidelines for that score, the recommendation is 0 to 6 months in prison. His tax crimes will also be grouped, because that is likely deemed a separate issue. They'll add 2-point enhancement to his sentencing score. That leaves him with an overall score of 9. The recommendation is 4 to 10 months in prison. He can't be sentenced to probation because he's convicted of Class B felony. I'd expect about around a year in jail. Of course, he ended up being wrong, and they actually gave him 10 years. And by the way, Winston actually got off easy. What the government was actually recommending was 20 years in jail, which was below the actual advisory guidelines. Next up is Elizabeth Wyan, 4 days ago. Quote, guess who's still not in jail? Guess who's in denial? Classic. Laughing my F-A-O. Ha 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 ha. There's also classified restricted 11 months ago. Ha, Winston is not in jail. There's also Rex M, 1 year ago. Key message to the skeptics. Next week will be in October 2017. Mr. Shrout is going stronger than ever, delivering his information. If you accept the above information, you have to ask, how is it possible that Shrout is not in jail? Think about it. Think about it. Thank you. One Love, RX. Finally, Dana Kelly. I can't go beyond 1 year here. FYI, Winston Shrout is not in jail, quite free. You should check out his latest videos. He has a website too. Most helpful. Finally, I'd like to point out some things from the articles about his sentencing, which supporters are probably not going to read, and his websites that promote him are not going to mention. From the evidence presented at trial between 2009 and 2014, Winston Shrout made $500,000 off seminars and DVDs and products he sold on his website, Winston Shrout Solutions for Commerce. This is a business. The sovereign citizen movement on the internet that is selling fake solutions to foreclosures, to tax issues, to traffic issues. It is a business. They are making a lot of money. $500,000 in 5 years is $100,000 per year. That is a lot of money to be made. That is why Winston has an incentive to lie. That is why they are promoting him so heavily on the internet, because there is money to be made off stupid and desperate people on the internet. And of course, Goldfish Report will not mention this, but Shrout's final attempt at avoiding jail was to claim that he was insane. He claimed that he had unusual, bizarre, and implausible delusions. This was him saying that. It was not the court did not say that he was crazy. The court said that he faked the craziness to avoid jail. I'd like to focus on this because it's important here. Shrout described himself as an alien walk-in who inhabited a 5-year-old's body and descended from Jesus and Mary Magdalene. If you've watched a lot of Shrout videos, this is something that he said before. So this shouldn't be news to you, but it's something that they kind of hide to keep to kind of protect him from looking too crazy. He said he was sent to Earth to destroy the Jesuits. 70-year-old also told mental health evaluators that he communicates with a galactic roundtable in his dreams and operates in third-dimensional frequency. Another thing that Goldfish Report will not mention, but is found in the sentencing memo, is the case of United States v. Teresa Marie Marti. This is a case that I was not aware of until I found this one. Teresa Marti was a presenter at Winston Shrout's 2008 seminar in Orlando. She spoke about how to apply the redemption scheme to file false tax returns using bogus IRS forms 1099 OID. Keep in mind that when the IRS started cracking down on 1099 OID fraud, Winston Shrout pretended that he never promoted it, but there's video of him promoting it. Marti pleaded guilty in the Eastern District of California to conspiring to submit false claims that utilize these false OIDs and defrauding the United States, and she was sentenced in 2017. This is Winston Shrout's buddy. She was sentenced in 2017 to 10 years in prison. Shrout has put a lot of people in jail that worked with him. If the government concludes if Marti received 10 years in prison and was merely a part of the defendant's lengthy and broad scheme, certainly the defendant should receive a greater sentence in this case. Of course, he got the same amount of time as her. We also found out, thanks to this case, about United States v. Dennis R. Alexio. Alexio was a client of Winston Shrout who was convicted in 2017 for implementing the defendant's OID and fictitious instrument schemes in the District of Hawaii, for which he was sentenced to 15 years in prison. That's right, Alexio is serving 15 years in prison right now because he listened to and used Winston Shrout's materials. In fact, Winston Shrout's computer was seized as part of this case, and this is how we know about Winston's clients now that are currently in jail, because Shrout had a list of clients on his computer.